Hi, this is KV and we're back again for the moon phase report. Yay! I know you've been waiting because the energy has been crazy. I can say that I have never felt what we've been going through recently, and it's really extreme waves, and it's not only extreme waves, but it's all the way up and then so all the way down, almost kind of like waves that are going straight up and down, because it's like you're like feeling the most loving and oh my gosh and everything, I can do this and life is great, and then just like that, like almost just the antithesis and this feeling that is so hopeless and deadened, and you know, kind of then you're looking for some kind of superficial thing to make you feel better because you feel so like and basically what happened was a couple weeks ago there's this love vibration energy that is being sent to our planet, and it is so amazing. And if you can imagine, it's like angels lined up around the earth and kind of sending in love. It's like that beautiful and special. And I wrote about it on Facebook when the first huge wave came through. I mean, I was like I remember just like doing something and feeling it, like I tell you how it's like waves of energy that we move through, and it was like, oh my God, like I never felt anything that lovely and precious and just and I was told about this thing about something shifting beneath our rib cage, so it was important to kind of move that around and shift it. And what ended up happening the next day, I realized it was something liver related, because the next day, like, I was so frustrated and I couldn't even understand how I could shift so quickly to bliss to pissed, you know, like that. And like everything just made me so mad, and everything was getting messed up, and everything was pissing me off to high heaven, you know. And I was so mad. I took this chair, I was sitting on a chair, and I took this chair, I was in my studio, and as I take it, I take it up into the air and I slam it down to the ground. And right as I was about to slam it, I was like, dude, Italian tile floor, you're gonna bust these, which thank goodness I did, and I'm really lucky. But so I cracked the chair, but I was still like, screw it, and I sit on it and do some more work and grumble about how pissed I am and just like wanting to scream and lose my mind. And then of course, like, the chair cracks and makes me slam to my butt on the ground. And I was like, I so deserved that. Like, the moment I happened where I was just sitting down there, I was like, I so deserved this. And now I have a broken chair, and now I'm like, dude, why did I break my chair, you know? I've never broken a chair. I've never slammed something like that. And which is really funny because one of the contributors on the Moon Phase Reports on Roots and Feathers had this thing with throwing plates. So it was really like that energy was there and is here right now. But so it's coming in with the love. Supposedly they can't blast us completely with the love because we would malfunction or something. So it has to come in waves and come in waves, and they're going to be coming in more and more and more. Some people are already completely in the bliss, and they are so connected, and what it's doing is it is bringing this level of connection where we just want to kind of stop and talk to everyone that we're around. We're more apt to just kind of talk to somebody and mingle with somebody and share with somebody that's a total stranger, you know. And we're so much more not seeing that they are strangers. We're so much more really feeling connected, you know. It's like we're feeling this connected heart energy with everybody. And because of the, you know, we just had Venus move into Cancer on the 3rd. We have Jupiter moving into Cancer on the 26th, and we already have Mercury in Cancer. So that's what's really kind of opening us up to this like loveness, and wanting to share how much we care for people, and wanting to be mushy, and wanting to just say it, you know. And think about how so many people can't say they're sorry. They are physically unable to say it. I don't even get that, because I'm like, I'm sorry, you know. But some people can't do that. Some people have a hard time saying they love you. You know, all these kind of things people have a hard time doing that are so reinforcing that we're all one and I care about you. And you know, and so, but that's going to be opening in all of us. One thing also I too did notice that something with these energies, we're going to be we're all going to be kind of rewired anyway with the Aquarius energies to always wanting to help others, to having this natural instinct of recognizing when somebody needs any kind of help. Like I've always been this way, like in grocery stores or any store, like I can always see who needs help and I just stop everything and I'm like, do you need some help with something? You know, or like someone out at the car, you can see they have cancer or something and they have the oxygen mask and they're hauling their stuff. You know, stop what you're doing and help them put your bags in their car. You know, little things like this, we're just going to be much more wired to seeing, oh, you're balancing all these things. Here, let me help you with that. I'm going the same place you are. And one thing I even noticed with myself, I've never been this way, but I like will almost wreck my car trying to pick up hitchhikers, you know? Like it's nothing to do with me either. Like something is just making me like turn the wheel. The first time it happened, like I seriously almost got rear-ended by this person, because I wasn't really paying attention, but it happened so quickly. I just saw man in need, you know. And now I've picked up 6 hitchhikers in the past 2 weeks, and before that I think 2 my whole life. So that's kind of funny. And I just have to say it's a natural thing, like the same way something's about to fall off the table and you grab it. It's the same thing if you see someone's in need and you jump on it, you know. So it's kind of cool, you know, just doing these extra little steps for people and showing them you care. So this is going to be a really big thing that's happening out in the world. And now first I want to stop for a minute because I have been forgetting this for months. Well, month and a half, but this woman had mentioned on my Facebook page that her 4-year-old daughter loves to watch these moon phase reports. So I wanted to say, hi Gaia, how are you? As I thought that was the cutest thing I'd ever in my life heard, that she loves these. So I wanted to give a shout out to Gaia and thank you for watching. It makes me happy. And you know, while I'm doing that, I want to give a shout out to all of you guys. I have to say, I think I have the most ahead of the times, progressive, brilliant, beautiful, loving, amazing people who are attracted to these, to my writings on Aquarius Nation and to these moon phase reports. And I have to say, like the words you share with me, I get emails all the time and they're so sweet and loving and they just fill my heart with purpose. And I want to tell you how, like, a lot of times I am so busy, I'm just kind of freaking out a little bit with how much I want to do, but I'm a 1-degree Capricorn rising, so this is kind of how it should be. I now am turning into a workaholic, so it's all great, but still I get like really worked up sometimes. And I have to say that, like, the words I get, the encouragement I get from you guys, the support I get from you guys really keeps me going. It just makes everything worthwhile in my life. It makes 12, 14-hour days of working completely worthwhile. And I'm working myself to figure out how to not be things taking so long for me. So it's going to get a lot easier for me really quick. Within like 2 weeks, it'll be a totally different world, and I'm really thankful for that. But I just really wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to keep doing this as long as you guys keep listening. And thank you for all the kind words. Every single one of them touches me so much. It's really huge and makes me feel awesome. And yeah, but okay, so this new moon is in Gemini, 18 degrees. Awesome energies. We have a really beautiful T-square with Uranus, Pluto, and Mercury. This is going to be something further, like either getting something off our chest, communicating something, sharing something that's going to have these really kind of really big transformative, shifting, freedom, liberating effects. Either depending on where it's going to be happening in your chart, it could be something that will bring a liberating kind of thing into your life, into your relationships, into your work. We'll get more into that depending on when we get to your individual readings. But that's just really beautiful and awesome. And I wanted to tell you too a little about, you know, the Uranus and Pluto. We're going to have these years of them doing this dance together. It's been going on. It's going to be going on. They do have direct hits, but whatever, it's going on. It's not, this is why we're going to have the crazy weather patterns. Like the first thing you think of with Uranus and Pluto is going to be crazy weather that comes in out of the blue and completely destroys things, you know. So that is going to be happening a lot in the world. We're still going to see a lot of these. They're going to be devastating, of course, but we're always having to gain a new perspective of things in life. So with those, the one core value that happens when these things happen is that it opens our hearts and it brings us closer to one another. So it really makes us want to help other people. You know, it's almost like some people can't change until these really big crazy things happen, and it's not like everybody in that area has to experience it, but there is something about opening your heart and caring for your neighbor and wanting to give. And I'm going to talk a lot about this in these readings, because we're so supposed to give. We're supposed to give our money freely. We're supposed to give our gifts freely. We're supposed to give our time freely. It's just supposed to be a natural thing. That's why, you know, anybody who's like, oh, and you know, I could do that. I could be like, dude, you got to pay $200 if you want to hear what I'm going to tell about you and your chart. You know, I could be like, nope, not until you pay. I won't give you that wisdom. And so many people do that. So many people are locked in the mentality of, I have to ask for this price. It's honoring me by asking for a high price. And like I've said, I think that worked in the old world. I don't think it works in the new world. It's all about, the number one intention is, I want to help you. I want to assist you through what I already know. And so I'll talk a lot about that. But yeah, it's giving money. It's helping people out. We have to, and that's what happens. Like, look, a hurricane and stuff, look at everyone's pulling out their money they're not even thinking about money anymore. They're just thinking, you need water, let me go get you water, you know? So it just completely transforms our way of thinking. So these things aren't great. They're never going to be fun, but change kind of, especially transformational change, seems to have to be that way. It has to be so dramatic because it's completely trying to reposition our car in a 180-degree direction. You know, we've been going this way. It's not the right way. It's not the honoring way. So we have to bring in this crazy thing to switch you into this other gear of seeing what really is important. The material world does so much have to fall away. Even like with this energy too, with the up and the down and the up and the down, I was noticing it through my other friends' businesses who do sell superficial things. And I noticed it in myself too, like being like, oh my gosh, I want to buy this, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. Like every time I reached that kind of lower thing, my mind instantly went to, I want to buy something to help me feel better. And that's been really big in the world too. People are like, I need to buy this thing to feel happy for a moment. They're buying the happiness through the material things right now. And that doesn't work. We all know that. That's why then you need another one, then you need another one, then you need another thing. It's not sustainable. So, but the thing that is sustainable is love and happiness and feeling good who you are with who you are. The more you know yourself, the more you can ride these waves and go, you know, this is life. You know, the more you don't know yourself, the more you're going to go out there going, I need to bring something in to feel happy, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, things, you know, material things. So, that's going on big time with this one. So with that T-square, we'll get more into that. One thing, I want to share this right now. So one of the big themes right now, and it's life. It's one of the main questions I get in my readings too, but it's one of the things I feel like I'm most called to share with you all too, but it's about the weight. I'm always going to be talking to you about the weight. I love to weight. I just love it. I have no problems. Basically, if you can just think about it, every time you are wanting something before it's time, you are out of your body, you're like 2 feet, 3 feet ahead of your body, and you are completely missing every potential to enjoy the life and joy and happiness of this moment. You're completely throwing it away. You're completely losing any opportunity to be happy now when you're sitting there saying, but I want this thing, but where am I going to move? But what am I going to do for a job? But where am I going to get love? But when am I, like everyone that I said, I could feel my body leaving, you know? It's like, it leaves the now, and it's so important that we sit here and be happy with whatever we have in this very moment. We have to understand we all have different timelines of when love comes, of when the perfect job comes, of when expressing our gifts come, you know. And a lot of you people, I would say the most of my clientele that I get for birth charts are the early 20s and then over 50s. Yeah, like the 20s and then the 50s are the biggest ones I get. And what's really great, I love getting all these 50s because most people who are even like attracted to the way I speak, who are attracted to the Chiron path of healing your wounds and becoming this teacher of what you've learned. A lot of people who have those lives, and a lot of these 20s I'm seeing have these lives, so it's really great that I can meet them, give them their book, help them see who they are, and then kind of work with them on the weight, and work with them on the patience, and work with them on relaxing more, dude. Go smoke pot, hang out, you know, do nothing. A lot of your life you're not supposed to be doing so much. You're mostly just wasting your time wishing you had something in the future, so you're not doing anything anyway. Might as well go lay in the hammock and, you know, whatever. But anyway, so a lot of these people who I do meet are doing really big things, and those people, they have to first heal these wounds. They have to first do all this work to be able to express. They kind of have to wait till their Chiron return. They kind of have to wait to get into the 50s. That's why so many big spiritual teachers, you know, you see them coming to you at that age. That's when you can really be like, what do you have to share with me, you know? So a lot of us have to wait for things, and we can't keep looking out, judging. Think about, like, you know, I don't know gardening things, but there's some things that take years to come up, you know? Think about, like, I don't know, I'm not going to go there. Think about locusts. You know, we had the locusts. Is that what they're called? Locusts? No, it's a different name. The things that made that horrible loud sound. But I know, like here you get them every 14 years or every 13 years, and they came last year. But these timings, there's exact timings. And even with those, I'm like, how do they know that it's time to come out and mate? And they all know that because that's what they do when they're making all that noise and stuff. That's their mating call. So that's a whole mating thing they're doing. Who knew? So they can only mate once every 14 years. They have their babies, and then the babies go down into the ground, and they stay down there for 14 years, and then they come out and mate again. It's like the most far out thing ever. But so everything's on this timing line. So I wanted to share how this is my favorite story for really helping you see this. So I had this cat Moose, and he was my boy. He was a Maine Coon, and I had him for 16 years, and coolest cat ever. I mean, I'll never be able to duplicate him. Like, the most amazing partner. Like, he was my partner. It was like, anyway, so right after I started my website, he got diagnosed with kidney failure, and I did everything to keep him alive. Gosh, I spent thousands of dollars. I did everything. I tried everything. I had to give him subcutaneous fluids every day. It sucked. It was horrible. And they waste away, and it's just devastating. But anyway, so he died. And I still am not over it. I'll probably never be over it. I cry more about him than my dad. How about that? But he was in my life more than my dad. I only had a couple years with my dad. I had 16 years with my cat. But anyway, so I buried him in my backyard, and I was sitting out. I just finished burying him. I was sitting out there, and I said, you know what, Moose? I said, I want you to come back as a pit bull, a female pit bull next time, so I can take you everywhere, and I just want a pit bull, and I want it to be you with this personality. So anyway, all of a sudden I heard, go into Craigslist and look at pit bulls. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go look at pit bulls right now. Like I was like ready to be inspired, you know. And so I went in, and the first one I saw was right out by my house, which there's nothing by my house, and it was this white pit bull. It's so cute, and they drew on a heart on the chest. And like for me, I have followed hearts since 2001. They started showing up for me in 2001, and it's always been this guidepost for me, you know. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's my dog. And then I'm reading through it, and I noticed that my friend is actually the person who's doing this. And I knew she was a rescue person, but still it was just kind of odd that it was like, oh my gosh, this dog and my friend. So I called her and I'm like, hold that dog, I'm gonna come see her. And what was wild too was that I was working at this chocolate shop in Santa Fe, and I usually worked the day shift, I think, but I had switched on this one. Someone else needed the day off, so I was going in later. That was why I was home to bury my cat. And so I was like, okay, on my way to work, I'm going to go, you know, I'm going to come see her. So I came and saw her, and then I was like, I don't know. I was like, you know what, I work for the next 2 days, so how about on Monday if I come and take her to my house and kind of try it out? So my friend was like, cool, I'll hold her for you. And anyway, so I'm telling everybody about my baby, I'm getting this baby. And then on Monday, I called her when I said I would, and she, you know, when we agreed to do this like in the early morning, or not early morning, but like 9 or 10, early day. And so I called and she's like, oh my God, I'm in town right now, I can't do it, I'll be back in probably like a half an hour. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So then a half an hour passed, and an hour passed, and 2 hours passed, and 3 hours passed, and I was finally like, dude, where are you, dude? This is my day off, I wanted to do it now. I started getting pissed. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna call and be like, come on, what's up, you know? But then I was like, no, don't call. Something's up. She's busy. Something happened. Let it go. It'll happen at the right time. I remember keep hearing that. And then finally at like 4 p.m., I was like, dude, I'm just going to call. So I called her and she's like, oh my gosh, perfect. I'm up here now. I'm talking to my friend Anna, but come on up here. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And I'm like, not even knowing why she said talking to her friend Anna, you know. Now it makes sense. But so I get up there. I just get to the dog. It was in a shelter, so all the barking, loud, crazy dogs, and I take her out for a walk, and I was just like, this isn't my dog. You know, I remember just looking at her and being like, this isn't my dog. You know, I was like, maybe it's too early. Maybe I can't get a dog yet, you know. And then I was like, do you have any other pit bulls? Let me go see the other pit bulls, because there was like 50 dogs there. And I met one, and I loved her so much, but she couldn't be with cats, and she couldn't be with livestock. And I'm like, I'm not interested in any dog that cannot be with livestock. Like, the thought of a dog attacking and killing a cow, you know, I'm like, I don't need that dog. So she was like, well, there's one more, and her name's Precious, and she was just brought back. She didn't work out in her home. So let's go see Precious. And I'm like, okay. And Precious was in the last one. And I'm walking, and still thinking, I don't know, I think it's too soon. I can't. This is my first dog, too. I don't need a dog. And then the cage right before Precious, I look over, and this was serious to me. I was like, what about that one? I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a dog like this? You know, they make dogs like this? I've never seen this before. And she's like, oh my God, that's who my friend Anna just dropped this dog off. And that was something too. When I drove up the driveway, I had to pull to the side to let this minivan pass. That was the person who brought my dog. So basically, my whole point is, had that whole day not happened the way it had, I would have already gone in. Had I called when I wanted to earlier, I would have gone in. I would have left with no dog. I would have said, I guess it's just not time for a dog yet. You know, go back home and mourn your cat, dude. Why are you getting a dog already? And anyway, so how that had happened, the time had to happen like that. Like, I would not have Moon Bear if it had not happened just like that. So that's my message for you to think about. You know, like, everything is going to come at exactly the right time. The same way the sun rises at the exact time, these moons show up at this exact time. Everything is orchestrated in your life like that. So you have to learn to trust. You have to chill the F. I would normally say the word, but Guy is watching, remember? Chill out, you know? We have to relax. We have to rest more. We have to be happy in this moment. We have to see what we have now and just love it. Instead of always thinking we need something else. Instead of always just thinking something's messing up our plan. Look at me. I was like, dude, this is my day off. I wanted to do this today and you're messing up my plan, you know? But like, had I pushed ahead, now I'm just going to call you and make this happen. Thank goodness my guides were like, slow down, stop. Something's going on. You know, so fortunately I got the guidance to just wait a little longer. There's something to do. You can clean the house. There's obviously something to do. But had that not happened, I wouldn't have Moon Bear. And Moon Bear is the most special dog ever. And if she ever comes more on film, you'll get to see that. She's really special. And she's so beautiful. And goes, like, eyes of just love, and she only howls. She doesn't bark, which I love. Ooh. But yeah, she's cool. So that's my message for you to